Alright, we're checking out this 140 watt mini portable power bank. It's from a company called HOPETREK, but there's a lot of these kind of similar power banks on Amazon. This is where it was sent from. Just some basic specs here on this particular power bank. It's 27,600 milliamp hours. They're claiming 99.36 watt hours. So the reason why you see a lot of these kind of in this shape like this on Amazon is because it's under 100 watt hours, and that is so that you can take it onto a plane without any restrictions. That's basically anything over 100 watt hours cannot be taken onto your flight. So that's why people want sort of the maximum amount of a power bank that they can take with them, and a lot of them are around this one. Now, a funny story, I got this one here, and at the time that I got this email from this company, I got another email which I didn't realize it was a different company. It was this company here called Podium. And I did a review on their larger 150 watt power bank a while ago. It's this one here. I'll link that in the video description if you guys want to check it out. But I got confused, I guess, and I thought it was from the same company. And so I was confused that they were asking me for my address again. And so I sent it to them, and then so they sent me this one. So we'll take a look at this one later. They're different prices. They're kind of similar. I think this one is $99 with a $30 coupon, so about $70 currently. And then the Podium is $72 with a $3 coupon, so slightly cheaper, but I think this one has a little bit less capacity. And we'll talk about why they're different in a little bit later in the video, but let's just quickly go over this one here. So you get a 140 watt cable, USB-C, USB-C, because you can have two USB-C ports on here, so both at 140 watt max output, and then you have a USB-A at 22.5 watts max output. And again, quick look at the specs here. Pause the video if you want to read over all this stuff, but basically looks like you have some lithium ion cells in there, 4,600 milliamp hours, and I'm not sure how many it says. I think it says 6 total inside there, for a total of 99.36 watt hours. So what's probably different with all the different models that you're going to see on Amazon with the same case and display, which I'll show you here momentarily, is that they're probably using slightly different cells inside. But in terms of the USB power delivery electronics and stuff, and in terms of, I think those specs are the same. You're going to see they're probably using, I think it's power delivery 3.1 specs. And so all those electronics are probably being reused, and they're just using slightly different cells inside. We'll talk about why that's going to matter a little bit later. And just a quick look at the side of the box here. Power delivery 3.1. It's got a TFT display. We'll show you that in a second. And it's saying you can carry it on a plane. As I mentioned, 2 USB-C ports, 1 USB-A port. And it says here a MacBook Pro 16, it says 50% full charge in 30 minutes. So it has enough capacity to charge up that battery to 50% full in 30 minutes from this power bank. Okay, so here's what comes in the box. You get the power bank, of course, the USB-C to USB-C cable, and you get a cloth carrying bag for this one. So you put that in there for protection. Looks like you get a user's guide and it's a little warning tag, and then this is the user's guide. And just a quick look at it. Pause the video if you want to read it, but I'm pretty sure this is going to be fairly straightforward in terms of how this is going to be used. I don't think there's going to be much to it. Looks like on their side he has a temperature warning in case the batteries get too hot. Again, there's our specs again. Alright, so here is a look at the power bank. Got this metallic powder coated gray finish on the outside. Got your branding here, so you'll see on Amazon that they'll kind of all look like this. You have this sort of screen here, a button, you have a rubber pad here on the bottom so you can stand it up vertically, or you can put it on its side here. So you have some rubber pads here on the, I guess this would be technically the bottom, so you put it down like this. And then on the top side here you have your USB-C ports. You have 2 USB-C 140 watts. They're both bidirectionally, it's the in out for both of them. So you can charge this, of course, via that same cable, but it doesn't come with a power brick, so you have to use something to charge that up. Some sort of USB-C power delivery power brick. and there's the USB-A there. So they all kind of look at this with one USB-A, two USB-Cs, and you got some writing here on the back, which is not going to come out on camera. But yeah, they basically all kind of look like this, and I'll take out the other one shortly, but they kind of mimic what this one looked like. This is a pretty old one from Shark Geek. I reviewed this last year, I think. And looks like this one has 8 cells, so there's 18 650s in here. This is also 99 watt hours. A little bit nicer in terms of, what you can do. So it does have a barrel plug connector here for output, DC output, as well as USB-C and USB-A. And this one only goes up to 100 watts. So they've improved the the output on these since then, in the more recent models. But you get a little bit different case here. It's kind of like transparent. You can see inside. You get a little bit nicer display here in terms of like data and what you can do in terms of settings. But this is kind of like last year's model. But this is still like $160. So kind of pricey considering the capacity you can get from other cheaper models that are out now. Like this one's only going to be $70, and that's 160. So that one's more than double the price of this one. Sure, it looks a little bit nicer. It's got some nicer features, but for the capacity, which is about the same, you're paying more than double for that one. So this is definitely a pretty good value. So you press the button here to turn it on, and then you can see have your how much capacity is left, and then if there's anything plugged in, they'll show the output here in terms of watts going in and out of the battery. And then you press the button again, shows you runtime, some stats here, max capacity, cycles, battery temperature, total output, etc. And then you can change the screen display time. So you long press to switch that. I'm not going to do that. And then back to the main screen. And the other one is pretty much identical. So let me just show you what the other one looks like. Okay, so just a quick look at the box on this one here. See, it's the milliamp hour rating is a little bit different. So it's 24,600 milliamp hours. You can see it looks the same. But in terms of the specs in the back, the watt hour rating is lower in this one. It's only 88.56 watt hours in this one. And yeah, it shows 88.56 watt hours here, 24,600 milliamp hours. Now, for whatever reason, it's saying that the rated capacity is 15,000 milliamp hours. I don't know what that means, why there's such a big difference between those two. That's nearly 10,000 milliamp hours. I'm not sure what's up with that. And pretty much looks like you get the same stuff. You get a cloth bag to, carry the power station around. It's a little bit thinner than the other one, so slightly different. Just obviously they're probably using a different source for their components. USB-C cable looks the same there. Got your 12-month warranty card. And here's the user's manual. It looks a little bit different. And basically has the same type of instructions, just sort of reorganized into a different format, but basically the display there is the same, etc. And again, you got a sort of this black powder coated finish. It looks like it's about the same color. This one's like a space gray. This one on the podium is definitely black, so it's a little bit darker. And you got the same USB-C ports on the top and USB-A. Got the same button here. Press this and it'll go and turn on. And this one is at 45% capacity, but you can see the other output and input there in terms of watts. And the branding here says, so there's, I don't know how many of these companies use the same casing, but it's basically the same. You have your rubber feet here on the bottom. You can set this vertically or on this side over here. And a little bit easier to read the information on this side. So 24,600 milliamp hours, 80.56 watt hours, 140 watts charging. So these are all the same as on the other one. So they're using probably the same components in terms of the power in, power out, and just different cells on the inside here to give you different capacity. Alright, so just a few quick tests here. Got this plugged in via port 1, USB-C, and it's charging at 22 watts. This is plugged into this older laptop here, so it's not drawing a lot of power in. It's just charging up that battery and doing it nicely at 22 watts. Alright, just go ahead and power it on that laptop here. And it's ramping up a little bit here, drawing more power because it's turning on, and like 30 watts on this sort of low powered laptop. And it looks like it's topping out at about 39 watts right now, and it's booting up. Alright, so I'm doing a charge of the power bank from this wall charger here. It's a 140 watt wall charger, using the included cable to port 1 there, and it's at 26% state of charge and going in about 135 watts. And I like that the state of charge there is going up in hundreds of percentage, and it shows you in time they're 43 minutes at this rate from that percentage to 100%. And we'll go ahead and on the second port, we'll see if it can charge from the wall, and also use the other port to charge this laptop that I was charging earlier. Alright, got that plugged in. And on port 2, we got 24 watts going out, so you can do charge coming in on one port and charge going out on the other port. So looks like it's working pretty well. Okay, so I did notice one small difference between these two, the Podium and the HOPETRek. The, I guess, additional information screen has slightly different outputs here. It does show the temperature on both of them, which is important. But for example, runtime there, last charge to, there's a couple extra things there. Battery cycles are the same, but slightly different between the two. It might just be a minor difference. Alright, so before I give you my final thoughts on this power bank, I did want to mention that there was another one that's similar to this one here that's under 100 watt hours you can take on a plane. It's made by Anker, and it's about $110, $120. So not quite a double, but quite a bit more than this one for the same capacity. But I think that one comes with either a 2 or 5 year warranty. So again, you know, your mileage may vary. Now, the differences between, like, say, this one and the Podium, why there's slightly different capacities, I think it's because they're probably using different cells inside, and the quality of the cells, hard to say what the longevity is going to be of those. I would look at, you know, if you're looking at these, you know, check the warranty, and the warranty differences. Most of these are going to be about a year, and I think that's why they're cheaper, because the longer warranties, like the ones that you're going to get from Anker and some of their higher brands that come with longer warranties, you pay quite a bit more for that. So it's kind of up to you as to whether or not you feel that extra warranty time is worth it for you. Now be aware that if you are charging at 140 watts, you have to use the included cable. This cable is rated to 140 watts. So I was trying to charge this with this charger here that has 140 watt rated output port right here. And I was using a different cable. I was using this one here. This one's only rated to 100 watts, so on when I was using that cable, this was only charging up to about like 95, 96 watts. So if you wanted the full 140 watts, you're gonna have to get some more 140 watt rated cables. It only comes with one, but you have two there. I believe if you're charging 240 watt devices, you can do both at the same time, but I don't even have anything that'll charge 140 watts. So I have no way of even testing one port. I can charge this, so input is 140 watts, but it can also do output at 140 watts on both, but I'm unable to test that with the equipment that I've got. Anyways, I'm going to cover for this video. I'll put links to everything down in the video description that I mentioned in the video. That'll do it for this one. I'll talk to you guys in the next video.